Hi, Aunt Blabby here, episode 13. I'm just going to do a quick tour of the garden, talk about some milkweed pods, and draw some cards for the autumnal equinox. So we're going to make it quick because I'm squeezing this in between rainstorms. That's why I haven't been here so far. Let's get going. Now, here's some beautiful leeks. I've shown them to you before, but they're still in the garden, and we're going to try to keep them in until Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, of course, in October. And make some leek potato soup for the supper. There's pepper. Still got some peppers and tomatoes in the garden, but the tomatoes especially are looking ragged because they know it's the end of the season. This one's not doing too bad. This tomato plant. I got knocked down a little bit this morning in the hard rain. There's some sage that'll stay in as long as we can keep it in time. And variegated sage. And look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Because of the wet summer. A little bit of payoff here. Beautiful fungi growing on the log. Nature always has some surprises. The citronella is thinking it must be the end of the season. At least this one is. This one looks perfectly good, but there's this one here suspecting that things are just about over. It's a perennial though, so I'm just going to clip it back and it'll be back next year. Parsley's still fine. The sage can probably be left for a while yet. And the lavender, I'm going to use some of that today. That's it, still in bloom. The potatoes are turning yellow. That's a sign that they're ready to be dug up. French fry bushes. I don't know if I'll make French fries out of them, but they're going to be good. However, we prepare them, eh? Here's what I'm talking about with the tomato plants. They know they're about done. Enough already, they say. I've produced all I can. We're going to leave these tomatoes on here until frost is called for, which it hasn't been for this week yet. And then I'll pick them even if they're green, put them in a bag, put them on this hill, and they'll ripen up. So we'll get our own tomatoes for a couple weeks yet. And you see the pickle plants are done. And you can see that, you look in there, we missed some. Even the critters missed them apparently. But that's okay, it's all good. They'll get, they're not edible now, but they'll get put back into the soil and help fertilize it. So, it's all good. Life is a cycle of endings and new beginnings. We see that the goldenrod is no longer golden, or some of it isn't. It turns, beige. It puts on its fluffs. These, again, like many plants, are the seed pods that blow away in the wind, and that's how they propagate. But we see that here, some are still golden. Still some golden out here to look at. Beautiful. Now, these don't show up like much on this camera, but these are mauve. They're pretty flowers. I thought they'd be beat down after this morning's rain, but they're pretty hardy, and they're still looking okay. There's some tomatoes here that need to be picked today before the rains come. And looky here. Isn't this a beautiful flower? That's a pumpkin. You see, this flower came off. It's done. And the pumpkin that came from it. What a good thing. Never get to grow up, though, in this climate. We're in zone 5. At least I don't think it will. I mean, climate change may surprise us, right? There's the pumpkin we did get. That's going to become a pie for Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie. There's a cluster of tomatoes there. They're still green. Don't worry, we'll get everything out of the garden before the frosts come. Some more tomatoes here and loads of peppers. I'll take those in soon and dry them. If this humid weather keeps up, I'll put them in the dehydrator. If it gets cooler and drier, I'll just let them dry naturally. Still some lovely flowers in the garden. Gotta plant the pear tree soon. It's not very happy right now. And the basil, I'll leave it as long as I can because I loves me fresh basil, and the bees love the little flowers too. Used to be out here a little while ago. Oh, there goes one now. So I'll leave it as soon as it calls for frost. I'll take it in. I'll probably dry it in the microwave. I'm tricky like that. Basil doesn't dry all that great naturally. It can rot very easily, so I'll use the microwave. Now, let's take, I want to talk about milkweed pods. So let's take one with us, and we'll talk about this, and we'll draw some cards. Okay, here we go. Now you gotta find a slit in the little pod. Okay, just push on it and the slit will become apparent. And inside are the seeds. You see that? Now these dry out and burst, and their seeds blow all over the place, and that's how they propagate. And there's what that looks like. Okay, these are the little fluffs, the white part, and the brown is the seeds. The seeds can be used for crafts and that, and arts as well. And but you want to leave some for Mother Nature to, you know, let the milkweed grow. Now, if you're trying to grow some milkweed in a temperate climate this year, because you want some next year, these have to have a cold cycle. So you have to take that seed pod that I just had in my hand there, put it in a bag and put it in your freezer for 3-4 months. If they don't have their cold cycle, they won't germinate. Okay, so, and these I'll put in the oven on a cookie sheet in a slow oven, just 200 degrees, to dry them out if they're not dry when I pick the rest of them. Okay, and they're good for, I'll show you next time what they're good for. It's fun, keeps the kids busy. If you got kids coming over, you gotta gaggle kids, keep them quiet for 20-30 minutes. Gold, just gold. Now, tomorrow is Autumnal Equinox. I'm just using my regular cards. Start shuffling. Tomorrow's the Autumnal Equinox. And of course, that means the sun's over the equator. And the length of day and night is equal everywhere. I've asked the universe. I'm asking the universe what the energy is for the coming fall. For all of us. Okay? So, let's see what we got here. Okay. So, we've got the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is about triumph and victory, but not without hard work, okay? And the energy of this card is internal. For instance, your challenges aren't necessarily coming from some external source. They may be a blockage within yourself that you have to get past, okay? So keep that energy for solving your problems with your practical mind, your logical mind. You know, try not to involve your emotions too much. You wanna take advantage of this energy for triumph here. You wanna get past whatever is blocking you, okay? You need to figure things out for yourself. The universe isn't just gonna dump your dreams in your lap and say, here you go, you can rest now. You have to do it yourself, okay? So this tells you that the energy is great for triumph, for success, but you have to do the hard work yourself. And here we have the Two of Wands, which is a progression, a good progression along, but we see that there's a fork in the road here. And Two, of course, of Wands, and that shows us that there may be a partnership needed here. You might need to ask someone for help. See, old two heads are better than one when it comes to solving some problems, okay? So keep that in mind. Your progress is good. You might need to take on a partner, at least to some small extent, to figure a few things out, okay? And the outcome card is the Sun. This is one of the most positive cards in tarot. This tells us that the potential is there for amazing outcome, very positive outcome, everything to go great. So we got a little bit of work to do, but the energy is there for triumph. We just have to figure things out, and we have to look within to do that. And also, maybe look to a friend or a partner for a little bit of help. Okay, so it's both. It's internal, and you get a friend to help. The two heads are better than one thing. And everything's looking great for a fantastic outcome. Okay, so going into the fall, it looks as if things are going to be great for us. Next week, or next time, we'll talk about what you can do with these. Remind me. Okay, so Aunt Blabby thinks you're the bee's knees. Don't ever let anybody tell you any different. Have a good one. Bye.